radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right. Merry Christmas. It's Fade to Black. Today's Thursday, December 21st, 2023. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. And tonight is our annual, and we do this every year. This is our annual AJA AMA Ask Jimmy Anything, the holiday edition. Now, Christmas is on Monday. Christmas Eve is on Sunday. And I'm having Christmas dinner with my daughter on Saturday. That's going to be a lot of fun, little gift giving. And I'm going to relax this weekend. I've got a few friends that I'll be visiting and wearing my Santa hat and doing all of those things. But Merry Christmas. And tonight I'm just hanging out with everybody. And this is great. You guys are my family. And so let's have fun tonight. Ask me anything, right? Keep it in bounds. And of course, now all of a sudden my comments, oh, okay, now and now they're in. Okay. I did notice, so put everything in all caps. I've also got, if you're not in the chat room, we have hashtag F2B, which is now open over here on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, now known as X. And you can post your questions there. Again, post it in all caps. I don't have the time to head over to Facebook. I know that we're live over on Facebook too as well. Let's just try to concentrate on, the Facebook comments also show up in the chat room, so I'll be able to see those there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got it all figured out. How's everybody doing? How you doing? You ready for the holidays? I am. I did notice before the show started, Renee, my intrepid news producer, says, have you intentionally been doing guitars? This is the first question of the night, right? It's Renee. Doing things correctly, by the way, in all caps. Have you intentionally been doing guitars on studio wall color schemes, gold for Halloween, Thanksgiving, now red for Christmas? So I did red and green guitars. I just, like 3 minutes ago, just shuffling. And so I've got red and green guitars behind me. For the most part, I've got two more red ones back here. I didn't get a chance to grab them. I've got some more and things in storage. If I would have thought about that, I would have done a better color scheme. And then we've got the Eddie Van Halen behind my head. That one didn't get changed out. So anyway, but yeah, so I've got, but it looks pretty festive right there, right? It looks pretty festive. So Renee, I did that tonight for you, and I'm sure everybody's going to go, okay, so what are the guitars? What are the guitars? That's an Ibanez RG. That's that green sparkly one. The one right here, that is a guitar that I built and carved. That is the Church Fadercaster. Maybe I'll pull that down, show you the headstock. It actually has a decal that I custom made that says Church Fadercaster on it. Let's see which one's pointing this one. That guitar is an Ibanez RG 20th anniversary. I think that's what that one is. It's about 10 or 20 years old. It's like brand new. It's a really cool guitar. Let's see. Let's go to this hand. That is a Paul Reed Smith Custom 24. Gorgeous green top on that. It is just a unbelievable guitar. And this one here, that is an Ibanez RG 550, which is as far as Ibanez goes, that's the guitar. The gems, the Steve Vais, yeah, okay, but that right there, that's the guitar. So's this one. They're both identical. Just one has a maple neck, and this one is the 20th anniversary one. So it's got a rosewood neck with red dot markers on it that match the guitar. This one is just a bone stock RG 550 maple. Just amazing guitar. So that's the festive guitars tonight. Before anybody asks me what they are, now you know. Okay, let's see. Again, post your questions in all caps. And if you want to post over on Twitter, you can hashtag F2B. Pop it up right there. Normally, I don't know what my social media people were doing today. They didn't post that. Today was an AMA, or maybe they did, because there are no questions right now over in Twitter. There you go. Go figure that out. Twitter X. Is that hair hanging down, or is that a wrinkle? Oh, it's hair. Thank God. If that was a wrinkle. That was a hair in my wrinkle. That's even worse. All right. Let's go. A couple of things, and it was funny. Today I got the tags license plate for the Harley, and so I went and I picked them up. It was weird. They were at the Harley dealer. They didn't send them to. That's a weird thing. Anyway, so I go and I pick them up, and I'm pulling out of the dealership, AV Harley dealers, AV Harley, Antelope Valley Harley, and this thought popped in my head. And as I'm going, man, I've got to tell this story tonight on the show. So I'm pulling out, I get home and I'm doing stuff, and I had 3 shows today. Today's the 3rd show, but I did the news, and I went on with Christina Gomez, an amazing show with her today, doing a 2023 year in review. I did that and a couple of other things, and I went, what was that thing I wanted to remember? And I thought about it for like 50. I gave up. I can't. So hopefully me mentioning it right now, it'll come back to me. Yeah, it'll come back to me. Okay, so let's get to the questions. There was one other thing that I wanted to say about the holidays, and it'll come back to me. So let's see what these questions are. Let's go in order here. Renee says, tell us about your new Harley. How is it equipped, including accessories, and whether you prefer mountain or desert riding? All good questions. Everything that I have been thinking about. Oh, I remember now. Okay. All right. I remember now. I remember how it all happened. Queensryche. Man, Jeff Tate, when he says that, I remember now. I remember how it all happened. Man, what a great record. But I do remember now. Okay, before I get to that, Renee, I'm going to tell you guys a doofus story about. I just got the bike. I'm not a hardcore. I'm not a Harley. No, I'm not that guy. I've got the jackets. I got the Harley jackets. I got the boots. I got the gloves. I got all that and everything. I'm just, am I worthy of putting that stuff on when I head out? So, but before all that happened, let me tell you about the first ride on my bike. Okay, so you guys are gonna laugh. I go through the Harley Riding Academy. And so to do that, there's a few things that are required: helmet, gloves, jacket, boots that cover your ankles, things like that. So I'm prepared. I get some gloves. That I didn't get a helmet. They provide helmets, and I've since then have purchased a helmet. But anyway, so I'm wearing their helmet. But it was cold. It was like 25 degrees, and we started riding at 6:30 in the morning. So I've got a thick black winter coat, blocks the wind, really nice. Okay, so I'm cool. So I'll go through the riding academy. Everything's fine. And then I pick up the bike. I get my license, and I get the bike. And my Jeep it's since been fixed, but the key fob in the Jeep was the battery was going dead, and you have to fidget with this next to the I've replaced the batteries since then. But anyway, so I'm at the Harley dealership, and I was going to ride the Harley home and have the salesman drive my Jeep. Jeep's not starting. And so I turned to Johnny. I said, Johnny, you drive I was really bummed about this. But anyway, I said, you drive that. Just follow me. I'll drive the Jeep. So I finally get the Jeep started. I didn't want him to get in the Jeep and go, dude, I can't start the Jeep. And I didn't want, it was a thing. So we drive back home, get home, and I decide I'm going to go riding right now. So I go in the house, I grab a jacket, not the same jacket that I was wearing in the sub-zero weather. I grab just a black jacket, zip it up, put on my gloves, pop on my helmet, pull the bike out in the driveway, start it up, and take out. And I go out on the street, around the corner, and I'm one block from my house. And the wind goes through everything. Goes through the jacket, goes straight to my skin, and I went, holy crap. I might as well have been buck naked. And I round the corner, and I get onto the main street, and I'm like, oh my God, holy crap. And I turn around and I go back and pull into my driveway. I run in the house and change jackets. I have never, and I had it's a normal jacket. The wind just cut straight through it. And lesson one learned. So I immediately bought 1, 2, 3 jackets. Got a leather jacket, got 2 riding jackets, and so when you go out and ride with real motorcycle gear, it's like nothing. The wind is nothing. So yeah, that's my stupid doofus story. I was literally on the bike for 15 seconds. Made a U-turn. Okay, well, I'm such a rookie. I've been riding my whole life, and I never went through that. Not like that. Not with the wind and everything else that's going on out here in Palmdale. So anyway, I thought I'd share that story with you. I remembered it, and it's a doofus story. If you get a bike, get a real clothing. All right. So anyway, back to Renee's question. She says, how is it equipped? Right now, everything is, let me think about this before I answer, is stock. So I got a Harley Softail Standard, and I knew I was going to get this bike. I've been looking and looking and looking and looking, and I just kept coming back to the Softail Standard. I want to be able to customize it. It's in the Harley line. It's like right in the middle, and the beginning of the big bikes. I got a 107, which is 1750 cc. So I got the 107 Milwaukee 8 engine, a single seat. There is no possibility for putting somebody on the back of the bike. That's not why I bought it, which is also getting to the second half of Renee's question. I got this for me. And I just want to hit the desert. I want long roads, and I want to head up into the mountains and do that. The bike, I'm not, at least for now, that's not the intention. I've always wanted to be able to just do that. Just head out by myself. Ride with somebody on another bike, that's different. But as far as me, no Bluetooth. No Bluetooth equipped, nothing in my ears. I don't want that. I want the engine and the wind and my thoughts. I don't want to be distracted. The only modifications that I'm doing to the bike is a cell phone mount for navigation. And I got a very specific one. It'll be here next week. But so there you go. And the wind. So I got a fairing for the bike, and it will be added. It'll be here on Saturday. So I got a small, it's a Cafe Racer small fairing just for the front. Keep the wind off my chest. Don't care about my head, but it'll be a little bit there. But it's, wind is an issue. I don't want a big old man thing, road king. No, I want a sporty, situation. But anything else, as far as accessories go, I'm going to keep it the way it is for now. I'll worry about pipes and stuff and foot pegs as I move along, because it's a blank canvas and I can paint it. So that's that answers all of that. Yeah, I'm very happy. Been riding it every day. Today's the first day I didn't ride it because it's been raining all day and I had 3 shows to do. But a lot of fun. The wind is an issue, though. Wind's an issue. When I'll say one last thing. 50 miles an hour. Now, all of the streets in Palmdale, in the neighborhoods, all of the street, 55 mile an hour speed limit. I've talked about that before on the show. It's a trippy thing, but it's out here in the desert. No matter where you are, it's 55 miles an hour. There's like one intersection in town. I think it slows down to 35 for like a block in each direction. Other than that, man, it's 55. So, but cruising up to 50, it's cool. You hit 55 and it's really weird. The wind just takes over. You get to 60, 65, man, and it's like it's a real thing. Because on a Harley, there's nothing there. At least on mine, there's nothing. There's a headlight, so you are just blasting into the wind. So that's it. The fairing is going to be added. It's going to be added on Saturday. So that's it. Let's see. Anything else in Renee's question here? How's it equipped, including accessories? There you go. Answer that. Mountain or desert riding. I can't wait. As soon as the fairing is added, then I'll start heading out for a few hours in one direction and a few hours back. But fighting the wind. So there you go. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. This is from K13. Will you be at any of the Awakening shows in the United Kingdom in 2024? Maybe. My 2024 is quickly filling up. A couple of notes, and I will start making the announcements on things this weekend. Is I am going to Peru with Brian Forrester. That is in November. It starts on November 15th. If you go to hiddenincatours.com, the poster is up, the announcement is up, and you can go and get your reservations going and come to Peru with me in November. Right before that is Stairway to the Stars, and that is November 8th, 9th, and 10th, that weekend before Peru. Coming up in February, I have Conscious Life Expo. That is booked. That is February 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And then in April 20th, is Fade to Black Live in Scottsdale. And those announcements will be finished up. Everything's ready on Ticketmaster. That's already done. But I will get the links up for everybody for that. I don't have the Indy dates yet for Indianapolis. I do have Miami. Miami is going to be October 10th on my birthday. And so now, as far as Awakening goes, I haven't got those dates yet booked, but I would love to go back to the United Kingdom. Plus, there's Egypt. Man, lots of things going on, and TV shows, and into the Vortex, and everything else that's happening. So 2024 is pretty busy. All right, that answers that. Let's see who is up now. The last songs I listened to today: Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Okay. Fine Rock Opera. I had over this. Funny that you mentioned Trans-Siberian. Oh, I can't mention this. Okay, I can't. Okay, is there a date yet for the indie show? Carrie, I just mentioned that it's going to be in the middle of April and October. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That's 7 months. So let's go for April, May, June, July. Yeah, that's right. July, and also the eclipse is in there, and I want to tie it in with that. So I hope that answers your question. I will get you the dates. Trust me, you'll hear enough about that indie show. But we've got the eclipse coming up, and so I want to try to tie that in. I'm going to be in Indy for the eclipse, no matter what. It's going right over Indianapolis. I can't believe it. All right, the debrief. Can you show us any Christmas gifts you've received from Fader so far this year? I could, but they're not in here. I didn't expect that question. You know what, though? My producer, Michelle, I got a lot of gifts from the Faders. Thank you. Thank you. Man, I could bring some stuff in. Maybe during the break. But Michelle, she's listening right now. And so I'm unwrapping Michelle's gift, and I go, Michelle got me a skull. I can feel the shape. It's all wrapped and everything, and I'm opening it up. And it was a skull. It was alien skull vodka. Yeah. Yeah. So I got me a skull, but it was full of vodka. Thank you, Michelle. That was very thoughtful. And there you go. Okay. Let's see what's coming up next. Let's see who is up next. Jimmy's Missing House Story, or I like to call it Dave and the house are not there, man. The missing house. That really happened, man. That really happened. Next time I go back to Indianapolis, I didn't have a chance to do it this past trip. I drove all over Indy, but I didn't get to the east side. But when I go back, I'm going right up that road. I'll take pictures and video. I'll tell the whole story. Okay, all right. Let's see. Scrolling slowly. Hey, Jimmy. You can get heated grips, heated gloves, heated seats. Just get on and plug in. Add the radio and phone later. Yeah, I don't know about I just the reason why I don't want to get a Bluetooth helmet and go through all of that is that I suppose if you're doing highway riding and you're going across the country and maybe, but no, that's not why I got the bike. I didn't get the bike to be distracted. Navigation is one thing. Pop the phone up in front of me and there it is. And if and I got to get to an ad, that's one thing. But no, I don't want any distractions. I don't want if somebody calls me, they can wait until I stop. That's it. I don't care about text or anything else. Heated vest with removable armor. Yes, I got all of that. I didn't get heated vest, but all of my jackets have armor. Yeah, I got the D30 on all the chest, back, shoulders, elbows, all of that. So I am armored out. Okay, let's see. Back armor. Yes, I got that. Yeah, not worried about heated seats or anything like that. Okay, let's see. I got my chips, a salsa, Xmas drink, all set. That's from Zenza Bill. Lord Nelson. If we did go to the moon, okay, here we go. I'm going to start off with that. Do you think they had to make new videos here on Earth because they couldn't show what is really up there? Man. The moon is a trippy situation for me. The moon is a trippy situation. So on one hand, I grew up with Mercury, Gemini, the Apollo program. That was part of my childhood. Watching everything on TV, picking out your favorite astronaut, drawing rocket ships, and capsules and everything. So I have that, right? And I fight that. Because on the other side, everything that has happened in modern history, not back in the 60s, not in the 70s, no, all the modern stuff like that press conference with NASA, and a few years ago when they said, "Well, when we figure out how to get through the Van Allen belt," I was like, "Wait, what?" And I don't know if somebody misspoke, but that's what was said. And then you look at everything else that is tied to this. It makes you wonder, right? It does. The whole thing is trippy. And then even Mars, by the way, and Perseverance, because I'm telling you, I am not making this up. And when I went to Peru and I'm out in the deserts of Paracas and I looked out and I looked around, there's nothing there. Nothing man-made. Nothing. There's nothing there. Horizon to horizon, as far as the eye can see. But it's kind of red. Right? And you're just looking and you're like, that looks like the photographs they're showing us of Mars. And I'm telling you, I could have taken pictures down. I didn't. I took a few, but I haven't posted them. I could take pictures of what I shot and post them and say, these are new Mars images, and you wouldn't know. It's like that. So is it possible? Yeah, it's possible that you could take Perseverance, Put it out there in the deserts of Paracas there in Peru. Take pictures and say it's Mars. Yeah, you could. You could put something off in the distance, a flying saucer, right? A fake, put it down on the ground, take a picture of it, and post it. Nobody would know. And is it possible that could have been done with the moon? Yes, it's possible. Did they? I don't know. I would like to say probably not, but man, yeah, I don't know. All of the issues that we have right now with just getting rockets off of the ground, you would think that it would be just like second nature. Now, we still have plane crashes. Cars still crash. I get that. But we have issues, right? Israel tried to put a lander on the moon, crashed. Well, China pulled it off. India crashed, right? There's no guarantee that you can launch something to the moon and it's going to make it to the lunar surface. And you would think if we did it, and here's the crazy part. Apollo 10, Apollo 9, Apollo 8, right? Flying around the moon and then coming back to Earth, right? Apollo 11 was the first one. They just went for it, man. Right? I think just went for it. So they're doing the flybys. They're doing the flybys. Next one, you guys, Buzz, Michael, Neil, you're putting this one on the ground. Wow. Yeah, that's just crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. Genocide says, Jimmy, on your recent adventures, what was the best meal you had, and what country has the best food? Oh, man, that's not even fair. Everybody's got their good stuff. Best meal in Egypt. Yeah, I already know what that was. Lamb chops. Yep, lamb chops. Muhammad Ibrahim said, I'm going to take you to the best lamb chop restaurant in the world. I go, dude, I think Greece would have something to say about that. Better than Greece, Jimmy. Been to Greece. Better lamb chops than Greece. And I'm like, in Cairo, you're telling me the best lamb chops are here? And he goes, yes. Well, he was right. And I'm telling you, I have cooked and had people cook for me in restaurants. Really good lamb chops. Best meal in Cairo was lamb chops of all the things. It was amazing. And so that was that. Peru's a tougher one because it was all good. I don't think I had a bad meal there. Some were better than others. We ate at this seafood restaurant in Paracas, right there, right there in the wharf, called the Nautilus. We ate there 3 nights in a row. It was insane. But Peru, man, it was all good. They're very proud of their beef and how they cook, and meat in general, and seafood, because Peru is nothing but coastline. So the seafood there is amazing. Their ceviche is amazing. I had ceviche. I was in Peru for 3 weeks. I had, what is that? I was there for 20 days. I had ceviche 20 times, probably more. But Peru Nautilus was a pretty amazing restaurant. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. And so that was seafood. I had different seafood every night there, 3 nights in a row. I had fried. I had this, I had that. I had a whole crab. That was incredible. Just caught right there, man. Just the boats are right. You're sitting in the restaurant. You're looking at the boats. This stuff came in fresh. England. We had a restaurant next door to the hotel there. I can't remember the name of it. Something Woods Inn or something. But they had a carving station there, so they had carving every single night, and it was like Thanksgiving. They had everything too. They had turkey, ham, roast beef, and then like cranberry sauce or something. Mashed potatoes, green beans, this carving, and I ate that 4 nights in a row. I had Thanksgiving dinner 4 nights in a row. It was incredible. Okay. Man, I'm hungry. You know what I have that I am going to eat after the show tonight? I have Pequod's. Pequod's is a deep dish pizza place in Chicago, and you can order their pizza. It's frozen. Comes so you need. And I have Pequod's. So good. So that's what I'm doing tonight, right after the show. Pequod's. Hey everyone, Faded Black. Can we? I've already asked this already. Let's see. When can we take the U out of UFO and call it for what it is? Extraterrestrial craft. I know, right? I have the feeling we are going to be making that transition here really. But here's the thing. I don't think you can ever take the U out of UFO. All right. Now, the amount of visitations that we are getting from different civilizations throughout the universe, and certainly right here in our own backyard in the Milky Way, it happens all the time from so many different. And so let's suppose, let me put this on the table this way. So craft flies by and then splits, and we look at it. Wow, that was interesting, and keeps on going. Now it's heading to Andromeda. It never comes back. That's a UFO. How do we identify that? Who it was, where they came from, or anything else. So you're always still going to have the U in UFO. The other day, I might be able to pull this up. Let me see if I can pull this up. New Andromeda picture. Okay. So there is, and it's a movie. Let's see, October 5th. Okay. There is a new, man, I don't see it here. Okay. Anyway, of Andromeda. And so it's in reverse, and you see the screen is covered. You cannot see any black. It's gold. And as the camera pulls back, the exposure, so the gold turns smaller, you can start to see the black, and then you realize you're looking at I don't know, 1 million stars, and then it pulls back, and eventually you see the Andromeda galaxy, and the amount of stars in that image. I mean, I watched it over and over and over again. And it's the same thing as our Milky Way. Every single one of those stars has a planet or two. And when it pulls back and you see Andromeda, which, you can look up at the night sky on a good day and see it. It's just a little smudge up there. But the amount of stars in that galaxy and in this image is incredible. I might be able to find it. Deep field, new Andromeda deep field image. Let's see. Yeah, I wish I had what was shown on. No, that's not it. Okay. Anyway, I'll see if I can pull that up. It's crazy. Okay. I think I might have it here. Sorry about that. This might be it. Let's see if this is the video. As this is playing in the background, 4 dealers offer you $5,000 off the MSRP of the Dark Horse. Oh, is that where we're going? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. This may be the image in reverse. Yes. Okay. All right. Now, check this out. I'm just going to play this. You ready? This is insane to me. This is absolutely insane. Here we go. Now, this is in reverse. Okay. There's Andromeda. That's what you can see from the night sky. A little smudge in the sky. Now keep watching this. Watch this. This is crazy. Just keep watching. Those are stars. Look at that. That is crazy town. Is that nuts? I mean, that's just that to me is crazy. Yeah, that's the Andromeda Galaxy. Yeah, that's just that's crazy to me. That's crazy. Absolutely not. Okay, this is from Android Paranormal. Ford dealer offers you $5,000 off the MSRP of the Dark Horse you want. If you trade in your Jeep for a Bronco, do you consider the offer? No. Nope. I love my Jeep. And I kind of have I've got the best of both worlds right now. So in my garage, I've got a Harley and a Jeep sitting next to each other. I'm happy. I would love to get the Dark Horse. I have the feeling this is the last year of a Mustang in that format. After that, it's probably going to be a hybrid, and things are going to change. And that's why I would get the Dark Horse. But then, yeah. But no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Nothing makes me happier than driving that Jeep. I'm serious. It just puts a smile on my face. I just absolutely dig it. No, I wouldn't do it. Would not do it. And the Bronco, nah, it's never really done it for me. No, the Dark Horse is pretty cool. All right, let's see. Merry Christmas, church. Merry Christmas to you, Richard, Aaron, Fader Nation. Absolutely. Roger White, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Funds and Merry Christmas. Okay, let's see. Merry Cribness. Merry Christmas from Odyssey. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Happy holidays to everybody. All right. Let's see. Jimmy with the Santa. Yes, all caps. Yes. I'm always nice. Have you been naughty or nice? I'm always nice. I'm always nice. I am. The naughty stuff that I do, it's not public. No, I'm always nice. I am always nice. Let's see. All right. Already answered that. Yes. Jessica Rodriguez just says, I'm on the East Coast, so at the end of the show, it will be my birthday. Happy birthday, Jessica. Man, happy birthday. Yeah, does that mess with gifts? It's like one of the biggest conundrums of life, right? So your birthday is on Christmas Eve, in this case, December 22nd. Are you getting Christmas gifts or do you get to double up? Like your brothers and sisters, they only get Christmas gifts, but you get doubled up. You get, right? Do you, right? Think about that, man. You know what? It's your birthday on the 22nd. Let's just worry about Christmas. What about your husband? Do you get, right? Or your wife? You're right. You know what? Let's just combine Christmas and your birthday together, and I'll get you something special. Or do you get to double up? And the double up is obvious when you're with your brothers and sisters, right? Everybody gets bikes on Christmas. All right. Okay. You and your 2-3 brothers, you guys all get bikes. But on your birthday, 3 days before, did you also get, right, that they didn't get, right? A TV for your bedroom, a boom box. Again, what did you get something separate? Did you get to double up? But anyway, happy birthday, Jessica. That is very, very cool. All right. Let's see. Yes, she did say it was her birthday. Happy birthday, Jessica. Now everybody's giving. There you go, Jessica. You let it slip. Have you ever been Indiana's Pine Lake or Amishville near Bern? Hold on for a second. Indiana's Pine Lake. Man, it's just like ringing a bell. Pine Lake, Indiana. Why is that like Pine Lake Water Park? Man, it's just like ringing a bell. Okay. Oh. I am going to say yes. Yeah, I'm going to say yes to Pine Lake. I've been to Pine Lake. Yes. Yes, I have. And that whole area, that whole part, yes, I have been there. Indiana Dune State Park, all of that, which is right next to it. So yeah, that whole area, Valparaiso, yeah, Crown Point, all of that. I've been to Pine Lake. Is that where you live? That's from Christopher. Now, or Amishville near Bern. I don't think I've been to Amishville, but Pine Lake I've been to. Yep. Probably a couple times. That whole area, man. The dunes, Valparaiso. I think I skied in Valparaiso. I'm wondering if they still have that. Have you looked at any Canadian cases, UFO cases? Talk about them all the time. Jimmy, your best. Canada has got some of the greatest UFO stuff, and so yeah. Canada, and here's the thing with Canada. Everybody okay, there's cities, Edmonton and Saskatchewan and Alberta, and you go out west and to the east and stuff. But Canada, once you just start to head, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Nobody's there. There's no road. And can you imagine what goes on up there? And there's nobody there. Nobody there. Animals. That's it. Anything could be going on up there and you would never know. Jimmy, what is your best woo moment? Oh, man. Had a few. What's my best woo moment? What is woo? I mean, are we talking about UFOs? Talking about ghosts? Are we just talking about something spiritual? What is a woo moment? Okay. I could spend a whole show talking about these, I guess. I've mentioned everything, but I did two things. I mean, probably just because it's recent. And I've told the stories about this house and different ghost stories and things that have happened over the years. Somebody mentioned the missing house story, which is still pretty crazy. Have you seen my dog? That story at the electric plant in Indianapolis. Those have been told so many times. But in Peru, we were at Kento. It's Q apostrophe ENTO, Kento. And they had this, they call it the sacrificial table. It's in a cave. Ginormous, beautiful complex. Anyway, so you go underground, you go into this room. It's all carved out. And I don't know what the stone is, but it was probably granite, I'm guessing. This big table, they called it a sacrificial table, probably 10 feet wide, good size, 10 feet wide, maybe 4 feet deep, one piece of stone, but it was carved, like it came out like this and then up. All right, so had a base to it. But the table itself was kind of curved in the middle. And I didn't like that. Sacrificial table, and you've got this curve thing, and it just felt kind of weird. Anyway, so Teo, this archaeologist that was with us, PhD, smart guy, he's standing next to me, and we come down, and he says he's going to do the ceremony. And I think he made a comment to me like, "You're next, but this is how you do it." And I said, "Okay." So I stood and I watched him. He puts his hands on the table and he puts his forehead on the table between his hands like this. And he's bent over. And he's there for about a minute. Then he stands up. He goes, "Your turn." Oh, okay. So I'll put my hands on the table, put my head down, put my forehead on the table. And I don't know how to explain. It was like, it was like right out of the movies. It was really strange. I don't know, man. These visions popped in my head, and the visions weren't like what you would think. The visions that popped in my head was like somebody getting chased through a jungle, like getting shot in the back with spears. It was like bloody. It was like, what? And I stayed. I was like, man, it was just violent, man. And finally I just stood up and I just kind of looked around and went, whoa. And I didn't tell anybody until this show when I came back. Now, is it my imagination? I don't know. It was a woo moment for sure. For sure. And you know what? I didn't even like hang out. Everybody was, I turned left and walked out of the cave, went upstairs, went upstairs, went up out of the cave and just kind of sat there and was like, wow. So I don't know. It was probably my imagination. I don't know, but it was like instant. It was crazy. It was pretty nuts. Okay, see what's next here. What years was I active in the music business? Officially, like in the music biz? What years? 80, I mean, when I came to California, so 84 till 2000. No, 2003. Yeah, like right in there. So what is that? 20 years? 20 years, different phases of it, engineering, producing, playing guitar, in bands. I was also in sales. I was in marketing, all in the music business. I have no idea how many NAMM shows I've been to. I've been to NAMM in 2 years, though, or since before the pandemic. So there you go. Justin Gibbons, do you think humans, what's coming in via email, including me and you, could we handle? Yeah, we can handle the truth. That's from Justin. I do believe we can handle the truth. Merry Christmas, Fade to Black Radio. Right back at you. That's from Jessica. I only said that because it was in all caps. So when I see something in all caps, I just read it. Have you ever checked out Indian motorcycles? I did. If so, what made you go with Harley? I went with Harley because it's a friggin' Harley. I looked at the Indians, the Scouts. I dig them. I dig the look. Man, you know what? I'm pulling the trigger on this thing, and I wanted a Harley, and I got a Harley. I was looking at Triumphs. I was looking at Bonnevilles. I was looking at Ducatis. I definitely wanted a V-twin, but Triumph is something that is really, really cool too as well. So I looked at just about every, but I just kept coming back to Harley. It's what, that's it. It's what I wanted. So I like Indians though. And the Indian Chiefs, the Scouts I think are a little bit cooler. But I looked at everything. And again, I was even looking at the Ducatis. When am I coming to Toronto? Niagara Falls, Jason Quit. I would love to get up to Canada. What's your favorite memory of us? Of the U.S. or of us, of Fadernauts? They're all my favorite memories if you're talking about Fadernauts. The ability to hang out with Fadernauts no matter where I go, and seeing somebody in a Fade to Black T-shirt, having a Fadernaut get together, which we do all the time, and getting a group together, in some cases, it's hundreds, just extraordinary. I go back through the pictures and I look and just think about some of the things that we have done and continue to do. I just can't get enough of it. And here we are. We're coming up to the Conscious Life Expo, and you know what's going to happen, man. The Fadernauts, we're going to get together. We're all going to go down to the lounge, and we're going to take over 2, 3, 4, 5 tables and sit around. I know everybody by name, and it's just amazing. It's just, if that's what you're talking about, Phil. Yeah, that's what I enjoy the most. All right, I'm going to blow past the commercial here in a second. I'll play it here in a minute because I know I'm way behind. Jimmy, is that a new PRS to your left? Yes, you're talking about that. Yeah, I got a few of them. Yeah, but that's one. Yeah, it's a new PRS Custom 24, and it's they call it, I forget the name of the color green that they call that, but yeah, it's a nice guitar. It's like everything else, I got to do some work to it. I'm not. It's great. It's great. It plays great. But I just like things a certain way, and so that's going to take a little bit of fine tuning. Plays great. Sounds great. It's amazing. The tremolo on it is really good. So yeah, I really dig it. Over there is a Santana too as well, but I got the Santana hollow body, and it's in Santana yellow. So that's it. Enough guitars. I'm not going to talk about guitars anymore. That's it. Wait, this is an old video. No, it is not. We are live. Revving up your engine. Listen to her. Man. Yeah, tonight is winter solstice. Yeah, it's trippy. It is the 21st. Do you know toasters have a trapdoor on the bottom to let the crumbs out? Yeah. You didn't know that? Mine's got a drawer. How can we send you gifts? Write to my producer. She'll give you the address of my office, which is not here. So there you go. All right. Man, I'm scrolling fast. What are your thoughts about the causes of the Mandela effect? Christy Hoover, that is a great question. I can tell you what it is not. It is not faulty memory. It is not mass psychosis. It's not any of the stuff that conventional minds, when I say conventional, skeptical minds will try to convince you. It's too crazy. The Mandela effect is too crazy. I have, if I'm going to give you the absolute definitive reason for me is this, okay? Now, these are the facts. I'm going to give you the facts of the case. $1985. I have a singer in my band that I don't know. I was trying to make it work out. And he was living with me at the time in Pasadena. And I'm not going to say his name. But he worked in Glendale, next city over from, but he didn't have a car. So I drove him to work every day. I got up in the morning, drove him to work, then I came back and I went to work. Every day. I drove back at night. I would end my job and I would drive over to Glendale and pick him up and bring him to make sure that he paid his rent. Also, to make sure that he went to band practice. All right. That was 1985. That lasted for about 3 months, maybe 4. And then we got a real singer in the band. All right. And then we had our first gig and we recorded and we did this and we did that. All that was 1985. Okay. Now, the original singer guy that I'm talking about, which was early 1985, I take him to work in the morning. I come back home and I'm making coffee and I turn on my TV. And I turn on the TV and I watch the Challenger launch. So I'm watching it, making coffee, Challenger, and I remember, and I'm like, what's he stuttering about? And I just look at the screen and I see that, right? And the announcer at the time didn't know what to say, right? Okay. And I'm watching, I'm like, man, that looks weird. That looks weird. Okay. So that was the Challenger disaster. I watched that happen in 1985. I remember everything about it. Why, where, when, who, what, that, why I was even up that early in the morning. Okay. So I watch it. Never think anything about it again. I mean, we all, but moving on to this show, and the Mandela effect comes out. And I remember taking phone calls and talking about the Mandela effect. And I think I had somebody on the show and we're doing this and somebody brings up the Challenger disaster. What year did it happen? 1985. Like, I don't know, January 85, like right there. Why? That's when I took what's his name to work, and I came home and I watched it on TV. It's 1985, 100%. And somebody says, no, it was 1986. I said, no, you've got it wrong. It was 1985. So I go and I look it up. It's right here on Wikipedia. On January 28th, 1986, a space shuttle Challenger broke apart 73 seconds into its flight. I was like, 1986? No, 1986, that was a whole nother year. No, it was 1985 because of blah, 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 blah. It wasn't 1986. Now, that when that's presented to me as evidence of the Mandela effect, I have to back. So I was so confused, and I started playing the memory back in my head, playing it back. Could it have been? No, it couldn't have been. I remember exactly all of it. So then I start talking to people. I start watching some videos, and people that were listening to this show, people coming back to me going, man, whatever. But one thing that was repeated a lot that I heard, I was in science class, and it's my sophomore year in high school, and we watched it on TV in 1985. I was in third grade, and we watched it on TV. I was a senior in high school. I graduated in 1985. I watched it. I heard this over and over and over again Now, how is that possible? I don't know. What could cause it? Well, if we look at like George Orwell, 1984, going back and rewriting history, well, that's one thing, but that doesn't rewrite our minds. Now, is it possible? Okay, now this is where let's drive the car off the road for a second. Let's go to Crazy Town. Is it something like we are experiencing another timeline, like all of us, or most of us? And in this timeline, the Challenger disaster happened on January 28th, 1986. So all of the references, all of the video, all of the things, and all of it, but that's accurate because in this timeline, it happened in 1986. But us, like me, and everybody else that remembers it differently, in our timeline, it happened January 28th, 1985. Is that possible? Where our memories are, that hasn't altered. But there isn't a way to explain how millions, if not billions of people remember things differently. Cup of noodles, I can't explain that. I still can't. I cannot say cup noodles. It's cup of noodles. I can't explain that. There's just no way I remembered it wrong my entire life. Or anybody else. And when I started to see the pictures of it and the references and how other people, I'm like, well, I'm not alone here. So it's not some kind of psychosis. It's not people remembering things wrong. Their memory is correct. But what is changing it? What I don't know. I don't know. CERN, did some particle collider open up? I don't know, man. The multiverse, did we all shrink and go into quantum mania? I don't know. I don't know. Chrissy, it is such a great question, and I just don't have an answer for it. This is Super Crazy Movie Geek. Oh, then we've got to get to a commercial. If first contact with ETs already happened, will we ever get to see a recording of that momentous event? Yes, I think we will. I'm pretty confident that there is somebody. I'm being serious. There is somebody with a thumb drive. There is somebody out there with one of these, right? He's got a thumb drive. Look how many I have. I have so many right here. Okay. So there is somebody walking around, with one of these with the goods on it. Maybe even something bigger like this. That's a 2 terabyte drive. That's still mind blowing to me that, 2 terabytes like that. That's just crazy. SSD and walking around with stuff on it. Yeah, I'm convinced I don't want to ask you anything. I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you for that, Cynthia. That is very, very cool. Okay. All right. Is Paul dead? No, I don't think so. Paul's still alive. I think Paul is still alive. So with that, this is Faded Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church.
My job is not to preach. My job is to take you on this journey.
In a state of passion, nothing negative can happen.
That it's the moons of those planets that would have life.
Sometimes I see, these energies also in your field.
It is our passion and our pleasure.
Hi, everybody. Jimmy Church here. Very special announcement, and that is we are shipping Fade to Black T-shirts again. It's been almost 2 years. We did a full upgrade to the website, so you can head over to jimmychurchradio.com. It's all simple to do, and it's right there. Remember, we broadcast 4 nights a week, Monday through Thursday. We bring you the best, the brightest, the most knowledgeable and amazing guests, the best conversations. We do that 4 nights a week. We also do 4 days a week. We broadcast the news, and we do that live too as well. It's not a one-man show. I do it with website support. I do it with producers. I do it with writers and artists. All contribute to the show. The best way to help support what we do here is with the Fade to Black T-shirt. And you can get your Fade to Black T-shirt one of 2 ways. First, go to jimmychurchradio.com, order a shirt. It's really that simple. You're going to get a tracking number, it's going to get shipped, and it's going to get autographed. The second way to get a shirt is with a Game Changer membership. Now, the Game Changer membership not only includes a free T-shirt, but you get a private email to me. You get unlimited commercial-free downloads. You have full access to the website, and everything includes free shipping, and everything is autographed. So help support the show. Get your Fade to Black T-shirt today. The links are below. You can just go to jimmychurchradio.com, and it's right on the website. So there you go. I'm Jimmy Church, Fade to Black. I'm so excited that I just have one thing to say. Go Backley Tappy. River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com. All right. Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our AMA annual holiday hangout with all of you Fade or Nots. Merry Christmas. Yeah. All right. Got my River Moon coffee, rivermoonwellness.com. I like my coffee, Doc. All right. Have I ever met or talked to Dan Aykroyd? Came close. And this was a few years ago, and I met his assistant, and I thought that things were finally going to line up, and you've just reminded me to circle back and make that happen. I can make that happen. So the short answer is, man, I was this close. I was right there, and for one reason or another, life got in the way, and I can probably make that happen. I will make this special announcement right now. Wednesday, January 10th, right here on Fade to Black. Wednesday, January 10th, Dee Snider will be with us from Twisted Sister. Yep, it's all done. It's all set up. Can't wait. January 10th, Dee Snider will be here from Twisted Sister. But yeah, I want to circle back to Dan Aykroyd, and I can probably make that happen. And thank you for reminding. I've completely spaced on that for a while now. Let's see here. Have you ever had pay oysters? They are the best. They're the best before summer. I've never even heard of pay oysters. So that's what's a pay oyster? Hold on for a second. Pay oyster. Okay. Pay oysters. Live oysters? What? Prince Edward Island oysters. No, I have not. That's what PEI is. Prince Edward Island oysters. If I've got that right, I don't know. I'm not the original wild oyster harvested from the cool, clean waters. Gulf of St. Louis. The pay oyster became famous at the Paris X. I'm not a big oyster guy. So, I mean, if they're cooked, I'm not a raw oyster guy. So, there you go. Okay. Jimmy, are you married? No. Are you dating anyone currently? No. No, I am not. I am not dating. I'm not dating. I'm enjoying my singleness, and I want to get my hat straight. There you go. No, not dating. Nope. I'm married to you Fadernauts. Not dating. I am not dating, and I am not married. Okay, so that answers that. Was that a big mystery? If that got out there, you would know, right? I suppose I will post it. Oh, what's this? This is from Groundhog. Thank you, Groundhog. That's very cool. Merry Christmas to you. And love that. I don't, for everybody out there, if you do this and Groundhog, thank you for that. I don't solicit, but man, it's always appreciated. That's very, very cool. Thank you for that. Jimmy, have you ever had a missing time event? And what do you think it means? I have. Now, I've talked about a few things that have happened over the years, and it's tough to explain when stuff like that goes down. And I don't talk about this kind of stuff too often because it's strange, and I guess that when my science mind, tries to take over and I don't want to I don't want to jump in the deep end of the pool and into the deep end of crazy. I just don't. There is enough going on in the world where you look around and these answers are just crazy. Nothing makes sense. And so, I mean, like nothing is what it seems. And so, but I try to protect myself before I go. There was, I just mentioned it. It's called, I popped it up on Facebook. It's Love Has Won. It's a TV series. Documentary series, 3-part series on Cinemax. Max. It's on Max. And now you go and you watch that, and I don't want to be so committed to something that I've lost all sense of reality. I just don't. I don't. And so when you get into some of these subjects, like, missing time and weird stuff like that, what do you do with it? And now somebody brought up the missing house earlier. And if you haven't heard the story, I'll give you the brief version of it. I was out. I used to have this Toyota station wagon, old, and this was around 1982, 83, and I lived in this apartment in Indianapolis. And on Sundays, I worked at Bell Laboratories, so I worked Monday through Friday, and I had the weekends off. And on Sundays, I would, not every Sunday, but I would like to do that. I would go and gas up full tank of gas in the Toyota without a plan. This is before navigation and everything else. And I would drive in one direction until I had a half a tank of gas. And then I would turn around and come back home. And I would just go on these adventures on Sundays. And, hold on for James Fox. Okay, hold on for a second. Hey James, listen, brother, I'm live on the air right now, and I just picked up the phone because it's you. I'm going to show the camera. There's James Fox calling. Say
What's up, brother?
Say Merry Christmas to the Fadernauts.
Merry Christmas to the Fadernauts. We love you, Jimmy Church.
Hey, listen, brother. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you. We've got a lot to discuss, and so are you still up? You're on the East Coast right now, right?
Yes, I'm about to announce the title of my new movie, so call me soon.
Okay, is it called Conversations with Jimmy?
Not exactly.
Wait. Am I going to get a credit?
But I think there's a cameo.
Oh, man.
Value of that.
Hey, listen, Merry Christmas, my brother. And I'm sorry. I have to apologize for just throwing you live on the air, but I will always pick up your phone call. So happy holidays. And then let me give you a call in 30 minutes as soon as I wrap the show.
Nothing but love.
Nothing but love to you. Thank you, James.
Bye.
Bye. And there you go. That was pretty cool. Where was I? So it was this Sunday morning, and I take off and I head east on Washington Boulevard, which is the 40. And I head out and I drive for like 2 hours in one direction. And now I'm coming back, and I don't know, it's probably noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. And I'm pulling back into Indianapolis, and I've just driven, I don't know, 100, 150 miles one way. And I'm driving back, and I make a right-hand turn. Now I'm in the neighborhood where I grew up and went to high school. It's called Cumberland. And on that corner is a Dairy Queen. It's probably still there. And I make that right-hand turn. I'm driving down, and I pull through. I'm driving, and there's it's all cornfields and stuff. Not now. It's all suburbia, but back then. And there was this clump of trees, and I'm driving through the clump of trees, and then to my left, I see it really quick. I'm by myself. I see a house in a tree, small. It's a white house. But I see in front of the house a for rent sign. And I just kind of looked and went, what? And there in the front yard was an in-ground pool, a small in-ground pool with a small little white house. And there was like a white, I'm going to say white picket fence. I don't have another way to describe it, but I see that. And I went, what? Summer party house. Oh, man. So I make a U-turn, and I go back, park my car, walk past the in-ground pool, and I go up the steps, and I look in the front window. And it's a small house. It's small. Oh, and as I was walking up, I noticed there was a yard, and there was like a chain link fence. And on the other side of the chain link fence were some gravestones, some graves, like 8. In the tree, and I looked, and that kind of felt weird. And I thought to myself, cool house, in-ground pool, I can put up with, I got to rent this place. I don't care about the graveyard. Anyway, so I look in, and there's a little living room. There was like a fireplace, and there was like a couple of small, like a 1-bedroom house. And I was like, this is perfect. So I go back, I jump in my car, and I take off, and I drive into my neighborhood, and I pick up a couple of friends before cell phones, and I picked up a couple of friends. Dude, you got to see this house, man. It's for rent. So what? And I said, man, it's got an in-ground pool, and and we drive back, and I'm heading up the road, and I'm driving into the trees, and the house is gone. And my friend... I was like, what? And I drive up to the Dairy Queen. I make a U-turn, and I'm like, we drove past it. And my friends are like, dude, there's no house here. No. I go, no, man. It was, and I described and we go back. It's not there. And I go back, and I'm like, am I on the wrong street? But there's only 2 streets out here. There isn't anything else. Went back on another street. There's no trees. There's no nothing. Went back. I got nothing. And I to this day, now I remember, to this day, I'm just perplexed with the whole story. And the story's true. It's exactly as I am playing it out to you. I have gone on Google Earth. I've looked to see if there's any area, and every street and everything, which there isn't. There's only there's Midhofer, there's German Church Road, Washington Boulevard, the street that I was on, 10th Street, 25th Street, 30th Street. That's the area where that's it. There are no other roads out there. And I can't, and once you were past the trees, you're in my neighborhood. High school's over here on 16th Street and Midhofer. I'm talking about Warren Central High School. Now all of that area is subdivisions. But back then, it was just this clump of trees and cornfields. That's it. That Dairy Queen on the corner was like the only thing. There was nothing there. And so I had gone back that summer, not a whole lot, but probably 2 or 3 times, just zigzagging around and driving, looking at the house is gone. So what do you do with that? And now my friends thought that I made the whole thing up, that there was no house for rent. I don't know why I would pick them up and take them back to show them a house that was in my imagination. Doesn't make any sense, but that's where they were with this. And I understand, because the house was gone. And myself, all of my friends in the neighborhood, we knew everything for miles in all directions. We knew where everybody lived, all the neighborhood, everything, right? And to just not have this house here, I don't know, right? And I have gone back and I have looked, and I have gone to Google Earth and to see if there was like a little area that maybe shows the foundation, or a filled-in pool. There's nothing. There's nothing. And so I don't know what to do with that. I simply don't. I don't. So groundhog, what's the cause of stuff like this? I don't know. Let's see. Can I post a great Christmas video about 10 seconds about a home I saw walking by Santa in the window? Dystopian visions. There you go. That'll get a post. Let's see. Have you ever had an out of body experience? Not that I want to talk about. And let me explain why. I am still collecting information on all of that, and and people like Jason Quitt and others that have written about it and guests on the show. I'm still collecting information on it, and when I'm at a point where I'm comfortable in sharing these experiences, I will. But I don't want to contaminate or pollute somebody else's experiences with mine. But I do like hearing other people's experiences, because I don't know if it's my imagination or not. And then we have the other part about this, which is remote viewing. And so when people talk about astral travel and out of body experiences, I think that we all have the ability to do that. Remote viewing is a big part of that. I think it's almost the exact same thing. So I'm still in that phase of research. So there you go. Jimmy, you're hiccuping. Oh, that's too funny. Okay. I'm scrolling. Jimmy, is there a dish or Christmas food item you enjoy cooking? I did make I messed around last week, and I was very successful. As a matter of fact, I ate all of them. I made some Christmas shortbread cookies. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've never done that, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Jimmy, how about playing a little something on one of those guitars? Merry Christmas. Oh man, they're just set up to. My amps are over there. One of these days, because I love playing, I'll have the mic come in. I'll turn on the amp, and I'll for me to do this right now, I would have to get up, plug in a microphone, turn on the amp, let the amp warm up, come in, get levels, pick out I'm not going to put everybody through that, and to see, and then turn around and play. But one of these days, I'll have everything set up, and you guys go, okay, I want to hear that guitar behind you. Okay, and I'll do it. I have no problems doing that. All right. Growing up as a kid, what car did you want so badly? It was the first car that I have, and I'm still there. Mustang is always V8, 289, 302, 289, 4-speed. I was never like a the GT 500 kind of guy, 427, 428 Super Cobra Jet. I like the 289, and that's it. So I've always been a Mustang guy, and a Jeep guy, and a Harley guy. That's it. Maybe at my age, would I get a Ferrari? Maybe, and because I do have a thing for Ferraris too as well. Do I know Carl Crusher? I know who he is. Yes, I do. Okay, maybe I'll get Carl Crusher on the show. I mean, I've heard this quite a bit, and so Laban Ahmed, thank you so much for that, man. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all of that fun stuff. Here's another one. Wow. I had fun meeting you in Vegas in November. Right on. Yeah, Vegas was great. Vegas was absolutely great. Can't wait for it again this year, man. So I'm a little bit ahead of myself on making announcements. Was CERN during the Mandela effect? I don't know. It's Jessa Rodriguez. She says, let me pull this up. Let me read it again. Was CERN during the day Nelson Mandela died, didn't die? Yeah, that's worth looking up. Let's see. Jimmy, what are your top 3 guests of the year? I don't even remember this year. I'm a little embarrassed about this. I have had so many people come up to me. We're at show 1,905 or 6 today, plus coast to coast, and everything else that I have done. I have had so many people come up and go, man, it was great being on your show. Yeah, it was a good show, wasn't it? I don't remember. And that's a lot of shows when it comes down like that. That's a lot of shows. I would have to go back, Lavira. Thank you for the question. I would literally have to go back and click on what I'm doing now. This is my podcast list, or this is my show list, and go through now and go backwards here and look at and remember all of these shows. Recently, that show I did with Cody Blue Snyder, that was really cool. Okay, so let's see. I just jumped way too many shows in a row. Okay, but that's what I would have to do. I would have to go back and look at this. Mike Herrera, that was a good show. The recent show I just did with Randall Carlson was amazing. The show I did with Daryl Anka was great. The recent show I did with Richard Dolan was great. The show I did with Melissa Tittle was great. And so that's going back. That's literally the recent show I did with Christopher Dunn was amazing. Linda Moulton Howe. That's all within the last couple of months. L.A. Marzulli, right? Riz Verk, Timothy Alberino, Kim Carlsberg. These, think about how this stuff is going down in a row all the time, and these are. I am blessed, and Jason quit to be able to say something like that, where I don't know, I have no idea. There's a show like this. I am lucky and privileged to be able to book whoever I want. I've got a great producer with Michelle, and she knows what I like, and there you go. My favorite shows, I like hanging out with. Thank you, Jane's Coffee. That's very cool. Thank you for that. Jimmy, why was I blocked from YouTube chat? I hope you unblocked me. That's from Madeline. When were you blocked? How is that possible? How can I unblock? You're not blocked. How are you posting right now if you are blocked? I don't get that. So, let's see here. Jimmy, I listen a lot, and I haven't heard the dog situation at the electric plant. The electric plant was this place out off of German Church Road, east of between 25th and 30th Street. And it was out in the middle of this cornfield, still there. You can look at it. And we called it the electric plant because there's big transformers and these things in the middle of this cornfield. And I think now there's houses there, but and houses around it. But back then it was just all both sides of German Church, just cornfields, maybe some soybean fields, but just cornfields all the way to like Greenfield, Indiana. But we would go out there. This is where we would go to drink before we were 21 years old. And so we would get our coolers and our beer and head out to this place. And it was out behind some trees. We had to go along these train tracks and we could park and not be seen from the road. All right. So we're out there one night, and I was driving, and I think there was probably 6 of us, thinking maybe 5, 3 in the back seat, 2 in the front seat, something like that. And now I've talked to friends that were there, and my friend Kurt Stokes, who was there, he remembers it the way I remembered it. Jim McLeister remembers it differently. He says we were all outside of the car when it happened. That's not, no. Kurt Stokes said, we just talked about this last year in Indianapolis. We were all together, and we talk about the story. All right, so this is what happens. I'm sitting behind. I'm driving, and we're just sitting, listening to the radio, drinking, smoking weed, doing our thing. But it was foggy, and the fog was really, really thick, and you couldn't really see in front of the car. But in front of the car, if there was no fog, there's a fence, and the electric plant is there, and there's this big empty field in front of us, pretty good size, about the size of a football field. And we're backed up against these trees, facing like this football field-sized area. But it's all foggy. But we know it's there because we're there all the time. Okay. But we couldn't see. And then out. So it's just miles of cornfield. There's nothing there. There's no houses. There's nothing there. And from the front of the car, out of the fog, walks up this guy. And he was dressed in black. And I never really looked right at him. I do know, in other words, I didn't look at his face. But we all freak, right? We're all talking and having a good time. And all of a sudden, this guy walks up out of the mist. And he comes up to my car window. And he's standing right here. And I'm like, I couldn't look. And I cracked the window down. I think he knocked on the window. This is 1983, so it's, 40 years ago? But anyway, and I crack the window, and he kneels down and he goes, "Have you seen my dog?" And I go, we all scream, man. And McCleister, who was sitting next to me, he says he was outside of the car. He wasn't. He was sitting right here. He goes, "What'd he say?" I go, "Have we seen his dog?" And I roll up the window. We are screaming. And and he turns around and walks back into the fog. It disappears. And we had lost it. Now, I know the direction that he's walking. There's nothing here. There's nothing for miles. And the direction that he's walking towards is the cornfield, the electric company, and then the cornfield. And there isn't anything past that for 30 miles, man. It's cornfields to Greenfield. And that's the direction he walked in. There were no houses. There's nothing there. Today, when you look at the electric company, I've posted pictures of it before. There's a subdivision here, and there's this. It's all gentrified now, but back then it was all cornfields. And I remember we lost it. We split, by the way. And I think it was the next day. The next day, in the middle of the day, sunny, we drove back and pulled back and just kind of, and we were all talking about it. And like, where did he come from? And where was he going to? Because there's nothing here but cornfields. Yeah. So that's the dog story. And it's not going to change. It's not going to change. I remember, so we were all sitting around talking about this. Kurt, Jim, and myself. I can't remember. I think Randy Smiley. Randy was there because Randy. Right. So Randy Smiley. And we started arguing with McClay. Dude, we were not outside of the car. Yeah, we were, man. And he walked up. No, we were all in the car, and I was in the back seat. Jimmy was in the front seat, but we all. The one thing that we all agreed on: old dude dressed in black came out of the fog and asked about his dog. Yeah. True story. Not going to change. That's it. With that look, man, the window's right here. Dude is standing, looking at me, and I just couldn't look. I couldn't look at him. I don't even know why I rolled down the window like that far. I have no idea. Jimmy, what do you think of bands using backing tracks in live concerts like Motley Crue? Oh man, bands have done that forever. If you go and Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, right? Dude, when they play that song live, they use backing tracks. They have that big choir and all of that. There are instances where that stuff is necessary. You've got an orchestra playing, or you've got this and that, and you're a 3-piece band with the lead singer, and you need to have this stuff kick off. Yeah, I understand that. I do. But using it to be fake, like fake vocals and Milli Vanilli. I toured with this band. I'll just tell you, I could give a crap. They were called Brunette. And Brunette was a big band, a fairly big band in the 80s on the Strip. And so the singer was really good. And his brother also sang really good. They harmonized really good together. But what they did is all of these backup vocal tracks they had on tape. The drummer, what was his name? Derek or something. The drummer had a cassette deck, and he had a foot switch on the floor that played the backing tracks. He had a click track in one ear and the backing tracks were in mono on the other track. That was sent back to me. I was running sound, and we're on tour, and everything is fine. Everything is fine. We're playing in Texas, playing this big club in Texas, and it was like the third song in. Everything is fine. Song number one, big sound, and this and that, this and that, this and that. And then we got to like the fourth song or whatever. But Derek got the click track off. He turned off the tape deck with the backup vocals on it. And it came to the chorus for the song. And there was no backup vocals. And the whole thing closed up. And I'm telling you, the audience knew it. And that's when you don't do it. That right there, because you are faking it. That you are lying to the audience. If you have, and that's a problem with somebody like, Motley Crue, whatever. But if you're a band and you need a choir or a chorus to play to support a song, everybody will understand that. But if you are going to have fake backup vocals, right, and the microphones aren't even plugged in on the stage, or not even on, and everybody's lip syncing these backup vocals, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. I've seen the videos of different bands. Yeah. Jimmy, will you still do Coast to Coast? That's how I started following you. I did Coast to Coast for 7 years. And I'm not, I'm in a different place in my life. The being a fill-in weekend host, I'm not interested in that. I did it for 7 years. It was fun. It was great. I dug it, but working 7 days a week to do that and do Fade to Black and everything else, it's just, and I plugged along and did that for 7 years. So, nah. Maybe one day I'll do a special guest host thing and go in, but doing that weekend, week out, no, it's just not my thing anymore. Life is too short. I want to go and I want to see the world. I want to do things. I want to hang out with my family and it, and with not only Fade to Black, but I've got Into the Vortex. I've got conferences. I'm always shooting a film. I've got the tours that I do around the world, and life is busy. So the time off that I have, which is rare, if you look at 2023, any year, all right, but just if you look at 2023 and how much travel I did, all of the TV, Fade to Black and everything else, you can see that once in a while, I mean, maybe one weekend a month, if I'm lucky, I'm home. Everything else is just work. And that's why something like that, a second full-time gig like that, like Coast to Coast, it's in the way. And that's it. So I did it for 7 years, 6 years, 6.5, 7 years. I always say 7. I did it from 13 until 2020, right? 2021. I can't even remember when I left. But that's a long time. And so I put in my time. I did it. It was fun. It was cool. There are just a handful of people in the world that were ever a host of Coast to Coast, and certainly probably for 4 or 5 years, I was doing coast to coast sometimes 6 days a month. 6 days. So I've got Fade to Black, Monday through Thursday, and then coast to coast Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday. I would do 3 days and then come back and restart with Fade to Black and then turn around and coast to coast on Saturday and Sunday, come back, Fade to Black, go back. And it was just like insanity, and then fitting in everything else that I was doing. I had no time. So there you go. So maybe, I can never say never to anything. I don't know what the future would bring. But right now, finally, I've kind of got things in order, and throwing something else into the mix right now, I just don't see it happening. So there you go. Let's just wrap this. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a very safe, fun, amazing, perfect weekend. Have a great, I'll be posting and hanging out with everybody this weekend. But have a great, safe, fun time. Hang out with your loved ones. Do your thing. And I will be back here on Tuesday. All right. So I'll see everybody after Christmas. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Thank you to Dennis and Kevin. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, John on the side. Thank you to everybody that got your questions in tonight. I didn't get to them all. I never do. All right. We'll do it again. We'll have another AMA booked. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldridge. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2023 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black, the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'll see you on Tuesday. Until then, go Backley Tappy.